Well, here we are at the main gate at the St James end, not the Morrison end, and the St James end. And this is what's causing the problem. This is a notice of planning application from the Exmouth Junction, and they've applied for new planning permission on the allotments. So let me go further in and I'll show you exactly what it is they're actually wanting to do. Well, we're here up at my plot and I'll show you what the latest planning permission is for. Now, this is not a new idea. They did float this idea before COVID, but we thought we'd seen it off. Obviously there was a delay in the building work because of the COVID, but this idea is not new to us. We have known about it, but we thought we'd dealt with it. So let me swing the camera around and I'll explain it to you. Well, as you can see from the diagram I posted, this is a very long site with access at both ends, access at the Morrison end and access at the St James end. Now, what Utopia Homes want to do is they want to take this path and create a cycle and pedestrian route from the new development onto Prince Charles Road. So what they plan to do is, I presume they're going to tarmac this, put a hole in the access hole in the fence and take the hedge down. There's a fence behind the hedge, so they'll take that down. And similar road, they'll make a hole in the perimeter wall. This perimeter wall's going anyway. It's going to be a fence. They're going to put a fence up, so they're going to have an access hole in the fence for pedestrians and cycles. And what they plan to do is they plan to have another fence coming along here, all the way up in front of the trading hut, and from here all the way up to the top of the road. So from the fence there'll be two fences coming up parallel to the access road all the way up to Prince Charles Road. Now, the problem is, if you put a fence coming all the way up here, is they're going to block off the only access door to the trading hut. But that's small beer to this company who have millions of pounds, multi-millions of pounds. They said, oh, we'll build you a new hut. Now, if they're going to build us a new hut, this is going to have a major impact on my allotment, because they're going to want access to all four sides. So I don't know whether my shed would have to be moved or my water butts would have to be moved. Everything here would have to be moved. That would have a major inconvenience to me. Also, I think they're going to site the compost toilet up there, and from the plans that they described, it looks like they plan to put it up there. This is Ula's plot, so that's going to be impacted. Plus, people will need access to the compost toilet. So that's one plot that's going to disappear. Access road's going to go all the way up there, so that's another plot that's going to disappear. The fence will come up here, and there'll be some sort of gate here, right here, so people can get in and out. That's Delilah's plot, and so they'll be through the fence here, on the access road, fence coming down here, and there'll be another gate at this junction down here. So there'd be a fence coming down here with a gate probably just about here. So if Delilah wanted to join me for coffee, she'd need to open a gate up there, come through, close it, come down here, open another gate, close it and come and join me for a coffee. Or if she just wanted to borrow a tool. Plus, of the site, the compost toilet, behind cages, behind fences. If you're, this is a very long site, remember. If you've got an allotment way along there, and you've got children, and they need a toilet, you've got to walk them all the way along here. You've got to get to a gate. You've got to open that gate. You've then got to close the gate. You've then got to go down there, open a gate, close the gate, come around. Somehow, the only access to get up there would be to go down to the parking spot down there, unless, now this is something I've just thought about. Access, how would you get access to that? Because you can't just walk through people's allotments. You can't walk through mine. The people that had my allotment before me put a fence all the way around it. So it's not an easy matter of coming through here and going up there, unless you come through the gate, walk all the way through my allotment, out the top gate and up to the compost toilet. So you would have to go all the way down. At the moment, you would have to go all the way down to the car park to get to the path that runs at the top of my allotment. Of course, the building company will say, well, you know, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do that. But we're going to end up losing quite a few plots. We're going to lose that one for sure. If they put the compost toilet on Ulla's, they're going to lose that. If they want to give people access to get to Ulla's plot or for the compost, it could be that I could end up losing my plot. At the very worst, if they have to put in a new trading hut, I'm going to lose at the very least all this until a trading hut is built. Or they might just take this plot and use it to give more parking, give people access to the compost toilet if it's moved up there. We have only got the plans that they've submitted on the planning application. And there's only two buildings marked out on that, and one of them is a trading hut, and there's another square, and I can only think that that's going to be the compost toilet, which is over. Let me just show you where that is at the moment. That's the compost toilet over there. So it's right in the middle of the allotment, so everyone can get to it. It's accessible for everyone. If you live at the far end, if you work at the far end, you could even drive down and park here and get to it. If you had to drive down and get through multiple gates, well, you know, it's not a good idea. It's not good for the allotments. So the planning permission was put up on the 6th of August. Oh, sorry, the planning notices were put on the gates at the 6th of August. But they were very vague on the information that they put on the planning notices. It's only when people looked at the planning application and we could see where they wanted to put a cycle and pedestrian path. So we've not had a lot of time to work with this, but we're contacting councillors, we're putting in our objections to the planning application. But the last time it reared its head, the councillors who we met with said they would always prioritise homes before allotments. Now we don't mind them prioritising homes. What we what we mind is that they're never going to allow Utopia Homes to build a path through the allotments, which was never on the original planning, and cut the allotments in half. There has been some other word which I cannot prove, I cannot verify that once they get the road through here, if there's a decrease in use of the allotments, then Utopia Homes might actually petition to get part of the allotments to build more homes. Now, I can't verify that, and I can't claim it's true, but that is a thought that has been voiced in the past. So not all is, there's no one up here happy at the moment with this new development, and we only have until the 30th to put in their objections. And when the councillors have stood up before and said they're going to prioritise the development over the allotments, we're not quite. We've got to have some hope, but it's a slim chance that we're going to be able to fight this. Well, that's all the news I've got at the moment. I will keep you posted. I'll see if I can do something at the weekend, show you. Basically, it's just watering and picking produce at the moment. But I will try and get some video done at the weekend, and maybe keep you more informed, find out what's happening with the committee, see what they're doing about it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye for now.